Good riddance to rights. Thank God now we're safe. I'm James Nathan Post. Who wants cancer cured? What if researchers discovered the cure for cancer is marijuana? Would the American Medical Association rejoice that lives could be spared and expensive procedures unnecessary if tobacco smokers all switched to hemp? Would the pharmaceutical industry rejoice to know the drugs people will buy at any price to treat dying cancer patients could all be replaced by a common herb grown free as cabbage anywhere in America? Would the Surgeon General proclaim the discovery and call for the right of Americans to grow and use the herb to protect their health? Would the Attorney General demand Congress stop the insanity of prosecuting the cure of a disease caused by the tobacco they cynically subsidize and greedily tax? Would Congress rise up cheering to give back to the people the constitutional rights they needed to take away so law enforcement might more efficiently protect us from marijuana users? Would the president stand up, as Libertarian candidate Harry Brown once did, and issue a blanket pardon for everyone now in prison on marijuana self-abuse charges? Might he even restore the voting rights of the millions disenfranchised as marijuana felons over the last few decades? Would the agents, administrators, and subcontractors of the DEA, FBI, ATF, HSD, CIA, INS, and the ETC of the FED, or the marshals, sheriffs, police, and schoolyard safety officers, not to mention the legions of prosecutors and drug war defense lawyers, would they all rejoice that they were no longer required to bear the burden of imposing marijuana prohibition by force on otherwise peaceful and productive citizens in America, and all the other nations in which the soldiers of our war on drugs do what soldiers do? Would they all rejoice that large parts of their budgets, activities, and staff might not be necessary at all? Would they appreciate that their jobs might be harder without the otherwise unconstitutional powers given to them in the name of protecting Americans from evil and destructive marijuana? Would stockholders and employees of the increasingly privatized, rapid growth penal industry be pleased to see the cell blocks of their huge new state correction and rehabilitation facilities standing empty and contracts for bigger ones canceled? Would the Marijuana Growers Association rejoice to see the price of their product fall from $100 for half an ounce to the same price as half an ounce of tobacco, that is, a pack of cigarettes? The market for recreational and medicinal marijuana and hemp products would thrive as competitive agriculture. But wouldn't the professional outlaw drop the product like Pee Wee Herman, since there's not enough markup in legitimate trade and farming is such damn hard work? Or might all of those folks find it reasonable and expedient to encourage the president, every president, to suppress the report of that discovery, to place all research on marijuana into the hands of the drug companies, and to vigorously prosecute the war on drugs? Come on. This is cancer we're talking about, a #1 killer of Americans. Surely no sane and reasonable person could do such a thing, much less our trusted presidents. Would you believe this has already happened, and not just once? As recently as 2000, Raymond Cushing reports that researchers in Madrid have successfully destroyed brain cancer in rats with tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. They also tested to see if THC caused behavior problems or any kind of damage. They found no damage except to the cancer cells. No major U.S. newspaper covered that story. It is not the first time that this was discovered, however. In 1974, researchers at the Medical College of Virginia, funded by the National Institute of Health to find evidence that marijuana caused damage to the immune system, found instead that THC slowed the growth of lung cancer and breast cancer. The DEA shut down the Virginia study, and in 1976, President Ford outlawed public marijuana research and granted exclusive research rights to certain pharmaceutical companies. Rather than confirming the herb's value, those companies set out to develop a synthetic, that is, patentable, form of THC to deliver the medical benefits without the immoral high which justifies their keeping the free natural plant illegal. Ironically, it is exactly that high, that general feeling of well-being that they are attempting to duplicate with their many so-called antidepressants, all of which have harmful side effects. They're still asking for more time to study. In 1983, President Reagan tried to force universities to destroy all the 1966 through 1976 independent marijuana research data, including compendiums in public libraries. President Clinton fired his Surgeon General for just suggesting renewed discussion of marijuana. President Bush supports a meth lab bill which would make it illegal to even link your computer to a website on which information about illegal drugs is published. It might be a crime to have seen this. Legalize marijuana? Cure cancer? How could we even consider it? Too many people have too much to lose.